The prosecution had their asses handed to them on a silver platter. Disclaimer notice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. All information in this video is not based on fact. It is all alleged, based upon my intuition, my opinion, what I believe my tarot cards are telling me. I encourage each and every one of you to do your own research, form your own opinions. After all, I'm just a blonde throwing cards. Before we get started on this, I want you to stay all the way to the end because I'm going to have a challenge for you guys, okay? But I promise not to make this no hour-long video. I am not even throwing cards in this one. We're going to have a very brief discussion, and then comes the challenge. So far, we are witnessing what the prosecution has, doesn't have in their arsenal. Come on. Is this the best that they can do? Is bring up this Lawrence Mowry, who doesn't have jack shit of experience? Maybe 40 hours of training? Oh my God, this was a total shit show. Okay, what we're going to do here is I am going to play a few clips of this 3-ring circus, and then I'm going to give my reaction, and then I'm going to ask you to participate.
Will you tell us how you're employed?
I'm employed with the Moscow Police Department.
What is your role there?
I am a detective.
How long have you worked for Moscow Police Department?
I've worked for Moscow for over 5 years.
Have you been a detective that entire time?
I have.
And prior to that, did you have law enforcement experience?
I do.
How many years total?
We have on 14.
Detective Mowry, did you take part in the investigation into the homicides on King Road?
Yes.
And what was your role?
A lot of different things. How to answer that.
First of all, this guy seems to have a little bit, and I say a little bit of experience behind him. But come on. Ann Taylor asked him what his role in the investigation was, and he's he couldn't answer the question.
I don't know.
My opinion is, 1, he's either hiding something, or 2, he needs to go back to school, or it's just amnesia or selective memory.
Your role with cell phones and cell towers. So let's start there, okay? What training do you have for that role?
So some time ago, I went through what they say PATC training, which is cellular analysis, and I've also taken classes for the CAST codes.
The cellular analysis, is that particular to the device itself, the cell phone device?
No.
That is particular to towers?
To the towers and the providers themselves.
When did you take that training?
Well, the CAST, I believe it was in 2019, and then I also did it again last year.
And the CAST that you took in 2019, that was the ENDICAC, is that right?
That was predominantly correct.
And the CAST that you took last year was October of 2023, is that correct?
Yes.
And that was the actual CAST training?
They were both done by actual CAST members. I'm not sure if one was sponsored by the other, but they were both owned by FBI CAST members.
And Your Honor, if I can approach.
Yes, thank you.
Detective Mowry, I'm putting in front of you what's labeled as Defendant's Exhibit O, and those are 2 certificates for training. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. The one that's from 2019, what did that cover?
That covered the use of the CASTBiz software.
And what did the one in 2023 cover?
The same.
You are arguing for admission of defendant's oath.
The objection?
No objection.
Okay, those are exhibit. Oh, no objection. Thank you.
Detective Mowry, how many total hours do those certificates represent of CAST training?
I apologize, I didn't look. It was a week long. It was actually a couple of days each time. 2 days a piece of
Do you need this?
So the 2019 shows 24 hours. The 2023 says 16 hours.
Thank you, Detective.
Okay, let's do some math here, folks. So his first one was 24 hours. Then his second training was 16 hours. That gives us a total of 40 hours. Wow! Boom! He just has so much training in this. I interrupt this regularly scheduled program for a public service announcement to let you know I am a dog mom. And the puppies are outside and you may hear a little bit of growling and barking.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's all about it.
Detective Mowry, does that appear to be your report from May 5th of 2023?
Yes.
And your order would move for admission of defendants P?
That's P.
P, like Paul?
All right. Any objection? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Exhibit P is admitted. No objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Mowry, I do not have a police report for the other one that I want to talk about today. It's one that I received via email today that was written just within the last few days by you, probably. Do you know what report I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I want to understand is we're talking about documents or records or logs that can be created by a CASTBiz program. The report that you wrote that I received today, when did you learn about those documents that exist according to that report?
The session logs that I found were from yesterday.
Why did you come to find them yesterday?
I was preparing for this hearing.
Okay. And those are things that existed for quite some time, is that correct?
They did.
And when you wrote about your work with CASTBiz in May of 2023, did you document those items?
No.
Tell me what you found when you were preparing for the motion to compel today.
I found session logs that were sent to me from the FBI.
All right. And in those session logs, how many files were there?
I don't remember. I think there were 6 or 7 different items inside.
Did you look at the CASTBiz 48-hour file?
I don't remember.
He doesn't recall. Even Daisy agrees.
Family reception.
Did you look at it yesterday in preparation for this hearing?
I attempted to.
All right. And how about the CASTBiz full log?
I attempted to yesterday.
I noticed in your report that there were several items that you listed. Were those from these CASTBiz logs that you attempted to look at yesterday?
Session logs through other files that were not.
Well, let's start with the 48-hour. What was contained in there?
There was over 48 hours that was the AT&T records, the original records. And there's a 48-hour session log. I don't know which one there.
Let's go with the session log. What was in there?
Appeared to be the AT&T records that possibly were inputted, as well as some JSON files that were probably produced by CASTBiz.
JSON files were produced by CASTBiz. Is that right?
I would assume that. I didn't create those files.
What date were they created?
I believe one was in December, the other was in April.
December of what year?
22.
And April of what year?
23.
Could you tell who created those?
I could not.
How did you get those?
I was provided those via email.
By who?
Nick Balance of the FBI.
What did you do with those?
I gave them as soon as I realized they were in my possession. I had contacted the prosecutor and gave them.
And that would be just yesterday, is that correct?
Yes.
What did you do with them prior to that time?
They were sent to me. I put them in a folder and I didn't do anything else with them. That's why I forgot them.
I just got to stop right there. I just can't. Oh my. How irresponsible is this? They not filing things properly. Things aren't in proper folders. Now I understand what Ann Taylor has been bitching about this whole entire time. We're seeing it on the witness stand right now. And he can't remember anything. And it was put in a folder and he's giving excuses of why he forgot. Okay. I mean, this really makes my blood boil. I don't know about you, but oh my God. Why is KOHBERGER still in jail? Somebody answer that for me, please.
Okay, let's switch gears for just a minute. You, during the course of your work, did you make contact with the Idaho Department of Transportation to talk about some of the cameras that cover main roads coming into and out of Moscow?
Yes.
And did you attempt to make preservation of any items?
I did.
What items did you want preserved?
I was trying to see if they had saved video or still images from those spots.
Learn.
That they do not retain those.
Did you, when you say they do not retain those, do you mean they don't retain videos or pictures or both?
Both.
Okay, we just heard that the Department of Transportation does not save recordings or photos. However, knowing that there was this major case, probably the case of the century, going on right now in Idaho, you would think that they would save things, even at the time that the crime was committed. They're looking for this white launcher. By the way, they did have the year wrong, if you recall. And you would think that right as these crimes were committed, that they would have found the footage. I'm not going to play the rest of this, but they do save up to like maybe 30 days or something like that. Why wasn't that footage pulled and saved if it was important? I'll tell you why. Because there was not jack shit on those videos. KOHBERGER's car was not seen in any photos or on those videos.
What do you recognize that exhibit?
So these were emails that I was trying to find some kind of contact information for windy.com, a website that does weather-related information, as well as has some links to images from cameras that are covering the highway.
And did you learn that you could have some still shots preserved?
I did.
Did you have some still shots preserved?
I did not.
Why weren't there any still shots preserved? One reason. Because there was nothing on those still shots to prove that BK is guilty and that BK was in the area.
Back to the cast viz for a couple of questions for you. When you were doing the work back in April of 2023, did you see maps on the screen with the work that you were doing?
Yes.
And you also made a video of that. I want to show you a map and see if it's what I think it is. You have defendants R in front of you. What is that?
Appears to be a screen capture of the CASTIS software.
Is that a screen capture from a map that you made?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor would move for admission of defendants R.
Objection.
No.
Exhibit R is admitted. No objection.
And are you aware that when you can see mapping on your screen on this program that there's a log created? Okay. You would agree that if I were to take the call detail records that have the tower report in them, I would have to have the same cast version you were using to recreate what you did. Would you agree with that?
I'd have to have if I took the regular cell call detail records and put them into a different version of cast, are you saying that it would become different?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me try to be more clear about the one I was asking, and then I like yours. We might talk about your question as well. My question is, the prosecutor suggested that your work could be recreated, and so it didn't matter that you hadn't saved your session. What I want to know is, if I have the 48-hour call detail records that contain the tower list like you had, do I have to have the CastViz program that you used so I can see what you did?
I don't know, because I don't know what the back end of the CastViz software does. I'm just speaking, so I don't know.
And you were in this CastViz program, at least for a while, creating exhibits that would be relied on. Is that right?
Yes.
On more than one occasion. Is that right?
Yes.
But you didn't save your work.
You did not create a session log. I did not see the need.
Would you agree I can't see what you did without your session log? Can't examine what you did without your session log?
Is there to create the visualizations for the exhibits? That's what I use CastViz.
But I can't see what you did. Is that right? Is that right?
No.
No, it's not right, or no, I can't see what you did.
You cannot, but I could take those cell data or call data records, put them into CastViz again. The results would be what they are because we're still using the same records from AT&T to create.
Have you done that?
These records?
Yes.
No.
Thanks, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
This dude doesn't save his work. Well, I believe, my humble opinion, that he just doesn't want to get caught maybe altering something. There's something really sus about that. He doesn't want the defense to know how he came to his conclusions. Oh, just trust me. Kind of like Chief Fry says, right? That anyhow, the prosecution is in some serious, deep doo-doo because they are poking holes, as in the defense is poking holes in the prosecution's case. It is starting to resemble Swiss cheese. You're going to hear the neighborhood perpetual lawn care going on. If it's not for the dogs, it's the lawn care. But anyhow, my conclusion to this is that the case is falling apart. This dude, as a witness, professional witness, is a joke. And Ann Taylor is on fire, honey. And if this is just even a little hint of what we're going to see during the actual trial, I tell you that Ann Taylor is a force to be reckoned with. And if I would ever get into trouble, heaven forbid, I want her as my attorney. And I don't think the prosecution has a leg to stand on. Okay, this was a true labor of love, let me tell you. We're about to conclude This video is probably only, let's see, so far 20 minutes. By the time it's done, might be 25 at max. It only took me about 4 hours to put this together. But let's get on with the challenge. What I am challenging all you tarot readers out there. I've got a project for you. Here is the challenge. All you readers out there, I want you to pull a few cards, maybe 3, maybe 5, not too many. And I want you to see what you see in the cards in regards to this hearing. Do you see the strength on the prosecution side? Or do you see the defense being the overall winners? And I want you to comment below what card you pulled and what your interpretation is. And I'm going to do another video that's actually going to be me pulling cards and doing a reading on this particular hearing. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to do that. It's going to be tomorrow or Monday. Monday is a holiday here in the United States, but we're celebrating it tomorrow while my son is off. Or maybe, no, it won't be later on tonight, because I want to give you guys a chance to pull some cards and comment and have a chance to watch this video. Lastly, if you like the way I presented this video, this content, doing something like this, and then the follow-up be a reading on this content, let me know below in the comments. And don't forget, on your way out, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not subscribed so you don't miss a beat, share this video. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. And everybody have a great day, and if you're in the United States, have a beautiful, wonderful Memorial Day.